So if you plan on training jiu-jitsu for a long time, one of the most important things is your training habit. A single technique can only do so much, but if you're gonna train over 10 years and you have bad training habits, it's going to drastically affect where your game ends up 10 years down the line. So I decided to make a short list of some of the most common mistakes people make when they're developing their jiu-jitsu game that really hinders their growth over time. So the first one, in no particular order, is focusing too much on their performance in normal sparring rounds rather than fixating on positions. You have to understand that jiu-jitsu is extremely complicated. You can be really good at finishing a triangle choke, but terrible at escaping mount. And these are all different skill sets that require to be developed in isolation. So a lot of people, they go in and they're trying to win every match, especially in the beginning. And it's great to be competitive, but realistically, you're a lot less efficient learning because when you're working on your side control escape and then the guy switches to mount, now your brain has to shift. Oh, now I'm in bottom of mount. What am I supposed to do there? Now you're in an arm bar and then you're playing catch up. But when you do a lot of training focused on starting in a specific spot, like starting in the bottom of side control or starting with a triangle choke on, it allows you to stay on one topic until you develop competency in that position, and then you can move on to a different problem. Eventually, when you get good at enough positions, you start to realize all a normal match is a collection of all these small mini positions put together. So if you're good at general guard retention, you're good at holding closed guard, you're good at finishing a triangle choke, you're gonna do pretty good in a match because when all these positions occur, you already know what to do. So another major one is not asking enough questions. Hands down, the students that I have seen get good the fastest in jiu-jitsu are the ones who are always willing to ask questions. You can learn techniques, you can listen to what your coach says, you can watch instructionals, but the problems that you're gonna have in positions are very unique. And there's a lot of different ways to mess up a technique. Another one is not watching instructionals or not watching instructional content. Of course, you should always learn and listen to your coach, but the reality is all coaches are limited, including me. I only have so many positions that I know well. There's plenty of blue belts out there who have a specialty in a specific position that I've probably never worked, that probably have more knowledge in that specific position than I do. So by only listening to your coach or one source of information, it makes it really hard to get better. You're not standing on the shoulders of giants and learning from people who've already gone through the process. Watching good instructional content from different people allows you to really speed up the process without even stepping on the mat. Another major one is being too rigid in your thinking or treating jiu-jitsu rules like they're laws of physics. Even laws of physics change. And there's so many times that someone learns a technique and they think, oh, my elbow has to be here, or, oh, I should never extend my arms. And they lock themselves into these rules and it actually inhibits their ability to grow. So learn techniques and try to use them, but try not to be too rigid in what you're learning because you're gonna learn from a lot of different people, and even the best people in the world will often contradict each other because they have different views on positions and evolving views on position. So try to play with different techniques and different ideas people give you, but also trust your physical instincts in the position. Of course, sometimes your instincts are really stupid. That's normal. If you ask a white belt, what does your intuition tell you? It's often not the best choice, right? But sometimes when you're in a position, a coach is doing the best they can to show you exactly what they do, but I may leave out a detail. I say I push forward, but actually I push forward and slightly to the right. Or if he's in this body position, I do it a little bit different. And that's very hard to articulate in a single technique that you show. So sometimes when you're too rigidly trying to do the technique exactly like your coach showed you, you get stuck because the situation you're in is actually slightly different and he wasn't speaking about that exact scenario.